What is going on, everybody? We are back in the house. Can't wait to talk about what we're going to talk about today. But A2D Radio, this is Vetted, Irving Fryer. This big dog, Hollis Thomas, right over there. Big dog, shout out to people.
Yeah, what's up, baby? How's everybody doing tonight? First, hit that like and subscribe button. And Vetted is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. I know you're saying, where am I with the echoing sound? I'm currently on the Philly Sports Trip with the spring training for the Phillies. The Phillies won today 6-1. 6-1. It was awesome. We were at the game. I actually have over 300 people down here with us. You know what you can do though? Go to phillysportstrips.com and put your deposit down for next year. There's a 3-day trip and a 5-day trip. It's called it's not kind of, it's a vacation. It's a vacation and you get to see the Phillies as well. Go to phillysportstrip.com and there's more up about the Brazil trip as well. As you can see, I'm wearing my Maximizing My Sexy t-shirt. And you can get one of these on phillysportstrips.com, which is a partner of Philly Sports Trips. Back to you, Irv.
Back to me. Mac, I got to get one of those t-shirts, man. I love that. Maximizing my sexy. I got to get one of those. Doc, my God.
I'll put in the word to the other Andrew.
Andrew's sleeping, man. What's up with Andrew? Andrew's sleeping.
Speaking of sleeping, now I'm literally so today, as I said, I went to the Phillies were playing the Red Sox today. It was a great game, jam packed. It was jam packed, fans everywhere. Philly, you saw Philly red everywhere.
Cool.
And then so it was hot. It was about 88 degrees, which is awesome. I could see the beach literally out my window. That's another stick right there, Philly Sports Trips for you. And then I came home and I came back to the hotel rather, and I went to sleep. Went to sleep and woke up, and as I was putting the word out for everybody to like and subscribe to the show, all of a sudden one of my buddies, Scott Taylor, who was at Fireplace, let's not forget Fireplace, who was at Fireplace. He said, "We just signed Devin White."
Yes, sir.
I said, "No, he just put Devin White." I was like, "Okay, I love Devin White. I want to sign Devin White." I said, "Did we sign him?" He said, "Yes." I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah.
And you just found out just like I did. I woke up to happiness.
Yeah.
So
listen, Howie. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't care for Howie. He's not one of my favorite people. Let me put it that way. I think
you tolerate him. You tolerate him in small doses.
Is that what it is?
Yes, you tolerate him.
But in small listen. Doses.
It's kind of like when due to the run-ins in which you've had with him, they were not savory, and so you kind of just tolerate him because he was kind of like a part of your life that seems to be just sticking due to what we're trying to do now.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is at war right now.
Yes.
He is not playing around. He's throwing hand grenades. The Eagles have made the most moves, the best moves, the most effective moves in terms of their team in free agency right now out of any other team in the NFL. Hats off to you, Howie. That was actually top of my list in terms of the next move that needed to be made in terms of linebacker was Devin White out of Tampa Bay. Cat 26 years old.
26 years old.
Yeah, he's on the rise. He had his
and
best.
He's looking to prove something too.
Yeah, he's looking
if you look
to
at
prove
it, look at it too. What you think about I didn't get to talk to you, but what do you think about the Devin Parker signing?
Devin Parker?
Devontae Parker, my bad.
Devontae Parker?
Devontae Parker, the receiver, my
bad. Well, I'm glad you asked about that. I got some stuff written down here. I'm not so sure he's going to be on the team when the final cut is made.
Well, what happened? What'd he do?
Well, there's a stat out about him. Let me. He's been in the league 9 years. We got him from the Patriots. Okay. First round draft choice in 2015 out of Louisville, right? 6'3", 215 pounds, big tall guy that can, I guess he can jump and do well on the 50-50 ball. So
well, he showed us who was boss when we went to this is what I think. And go ahead, I'll let you finish because I just like the signing because it didn't cost us nothing. And he's got something to prove, but go ahead.
Yeah, he does have something to prove. And yeah, he's going to make $4.69, I think, $1 million a year or for the year. But the Eagles are only paying him 1.2. So the Patriots are paying most of that money. But he had his best year in 2019 with the Dolphins, had 72 catches. And then
I was down there for that game.
In 2020, he had 63 catches. In 2021, 40 catches, 2022, 31 catches, and last season, 20, or I should say 33 catches. But he went the last 4 years, and I'm not sure what I knew what it was. I just didn't write it down.
Okay.
The stat keeper of this, what who kept this stat. But he was last the last 4 years in separation, in terms of being able to create separation as a wide receiver, creating space between himself and the defensive back. In 2022, he was 132 out of 132. In 2021, he was 120 out of 120.
With that, Irv, did you check how he is on 50-50 balls? Because when we played him, and when he got paid, he was the quarterback trusted in him, and he was just going up and taking the ball from people.
I understand.
Go ahead.
But he's got to do more than just 50-50 balls. He's got to be able to run routes. He's got to be able to create separation. He's got to be able to obviously catch the ball, not just in 50-50 ball situations, but he got to be productive in every other area, because we're using him, or I guess we've drafted him, or I'm sorry, got him as a free agent to be our third wide receiver. So yeah, pretty much anything's better than Quez Watkins.
Yes, somebody who puts people on notice. Go ahead.
They're bringing him in. Julio Jones was that body type. He's a big guy, can go up, but Julio Jones was more of a complete receiver. I'm not so sure this guy is going to remain on the team. I mean, it doesn't cost the Eagles anything, particularly if they cut him. It's not going to cost them anything. So maybe they brought him in to create some more competition, to see what's going to happen. Maybe he'll produce in the preseason, as another body. But I don't see him being on the team. And you maybe can mark my words. I don't see him being on the team when the team gets down to the final cut.
Well, you know receivers better than me, so it's like when you gave me all that information, I just watched him, and I always liked the way he went about things. But I knew in the last few years he had. And sometimes when a young guy gets paid, it doesn't. It's like it seems like he loses that hunger, and
they get complacent.
Get complacent. And I think sometimes it takes for them to get cut, letting them know that they're not the sugar honey iced tea, and you need to work for this.
Right, but understand this: he's coming in, he's getting paid $4.69 million next year.
Yeah, but there's another caveat to that. We don't give a damn about that. We'll cut the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, we'll cut him. But in his mind, and this, in his mind, he's gonna make the team. In his mind, he's getting paid $4.69 million next year. That in his mind. That's in his mind.
Well, in his mind, I think he should. Well, that's like, because you remember our trusty compadre Charlie Garner.
Yes, I love Charlie.
I love Charlie too, but it was like when he was in Philly, he was just doing what he wanted when he wanted.
Oh yeah.
Once they let him go, Charlie turned into the wrecking ball and beast that he was supposed to be the entire time he was playing.
Right.
I was like, sometimes it's like the same thing with Jason Dunn. Couldn't get right. My boy JD went to Kansas City, played 10 strong years there.
Right. Yeah. Like, he couldn't do it right in Philly. But he wasn't comfortable. I think he just. As far as Jason was concerned, now Charlie, you're right. You're accurate. Right. Charlie was just doing his thing. But Jason Dunn, I think Jason was didn't have the confidence in himself. The conversation that I had with him when he was here at the Eagles, he wasn't sure about what he could do.
Remember, that was my running buddy, and we showed up at a couple of practices, literally from the club.
Oh well, I didn't know that. I just know about the conversations.
Well,
he was keeping that from me because I was the old head. I was like like the big brother figure on the team when I was there.
You see the big dog walking by with a towel on and going into the steam room. It's because I've been out with Jason doing the big.
Well, then he deserved what he got then, because you can't go out and spend the night out all night long and come and be successful in practice or on the field.
Not every day though, but the one thing that I know every fan was loving. And let's talk about the elephant in the room that some fans like. And I was with a lot of fans. The Saquon Barkley signing. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I was like, I like it, but I didn't love it.
Why don't you love it? Why don't you love
it? Because my boy say, as much as I love Saquon, he's as long as he stays healthy though. And that's
Well,
that's the
well,
only,
I mean,
that's the one thing.
other
And
than the year that he had the MCL and the ACL, he had both of those in the same year. I think that was 2020. Other than that year, he has stayed particularly healthy. Now, last year he missed, I think it was 3 games because of a ankle
ankle.
twist. Yeah.
Yeah, but when he came back from the MCL ACL, it was just like he was Mr. Glass because as soon as they threw a pass to him, and he what you call it, he just twisted his ankle playing against the Cowgirls. Now
Well,
you
I
might, if
mean,
everybody, every time you hear something say "Dear Diary Jackpot," that's people texting me letting me know we signed Devin White.
okay. When you hear that. Uh,
That's like I was laughing because I was like, man, I put no notification, but I'm at wit's end because as you know, I'm on a Philly sports trip. I'm
right.
enjoying myself down here. I can see the beach. It looks
Well,
lovely under
stop
the
stop
moonlight.
rubbing it in our face, man. You trying to rub it in our face.
Now tell,
Uh,
but tell me, like I love Saquon Barkley, and I was like, I love like everything he brings to the table. I
mhm.
was like, but the one thing that was like irking me was a little bit was the injury thing. But as long as he stay healthy, I think we've I think Scott Howie's put together one of the best offenses in the NFL on paper.
Right.
Uh,
Well, that's but that's with anybody.
mhm.
As long as Jalen stays healthy, we're going to
Right,
be one of the greatest offenses on paper in the league. As long
right,
as Saquon stays healthy, and I think here's my take on it. I think it's a definitely a step up from Swift.
yeah,
Um, although Swift, I think, is a great running back.
yeah.
They
But
got
it's
away
like,
from Swift in the latter part
yeah.
of the year. They stopped running the ball in the
Mhm.
first part of the season. Those first 5 or 4 or 5 games, he was doing his thing.
You know what? Hey,
Running the
Irv,
ball.
you know when they kind of shied away from him a little bit. He put the ball on the ground a couple of times,
Right, right.
and so the one thing that I know with most offenses is when I even though I play defenses, is when that sucker put that ball in the ball one too many times, they lose confidence in them, and it was like one of those things to where
Well, the
Saquon,
whole offense went askew.
yeah,
The whole offense went askew. And I believe that Saquon is just as a dynamic runner that
hmm
Swift is, but he's better in other areas. One, catching the ball out of the backfield. He's
hmm
almost like another receiver for you.
right,
He can run routes, diagonals and arrows and things like that the running back has to run. And
right,
the other thing that really stands out to me is that Saquon is like an old school running back. He will step up and help in protection when there's
yes,
blitzes with linebackers. He'll step up and he'll square up and he'll stone whoever's rushing, with whether it's a linebacker, whether it's a defensive back. He will get that block. Where, as opposed to that, I think Swift was a little lacking in that
hmm
area. So Saquon brings a whole nother dynamic to the running game, and he's stronger, I believe, than Swift. But here's what I believe won't happen that happened last year. Last year they got away in the latter part of the season away
hmm
from the run. Swift didn't get the ball nearly as much as he did at the beginning of the season. That's not going to happen. One, because we have a new offensive coordinator. Number two, we got Saquon Barkley in our
yeah.
backfield.
And you know what?
They're
Number two
always
too.
going to remember, guess what? We got
Mhm.
Saquon Barkley as a running
And
back. So they're
and
not ever going to get away from the run. They're always
and
going to know and be aware of the fact that we have an effective, big name running back in the backfield.
and we paid him a lot of money to run the ball. We ain't pay him a lot. It's like so
He
when
got
you
more
look
money
at
than Swift did.
yeah, well yeah. Well the funny thing was is like you know how sometimes you hear those dudes who analyze the draft and stuff and analyze guys coming out and talking about you could always get a running back. There's certain running backs that you're not going to always get. The CMC, Saquon Barkley, even Ezekiel Elliott when he first came. I told somebody was asking me during that draft. I said I would have drafted Ezekiel in the first with the first pick, and
Uh-huh.
then I would have got somebody a quarterback. I said Dak Prescott when they before the draft. I said
Right.
I would have drafted them just like that, Ezekiel then Dak, because you have a game when he was first in the league. Couldn't nobody stop that kid,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said. He could catch passes and stuff, and Dak Prescott was just a smart kid and a decent quarterback.
Right.
And they screwed the pooch in Dallas, yes. When they didn't have the coaches around them to get it done. You steady throwing the ball. But the one thing that I do know is Saquon is in that realm, in that in that realm of running backs
Right.
that are not only game changers, but you remember a couple of shows ago, me and you were talking about that third receiver, the game changer was
Yep.
not, when he comes into the huddle.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a running back that when he comes into the huddle,
He's
it's
going to be
like,
the third leading receiver. He's going to catch more balls than
but
Dallas
not only,
Goedert this year.
but not only that, you got to bring an eighth guy down in the box now. What you
Yes.
think that's going to do for? What you think that's going to do for the Slim Reaper and AJ
Yeah. It's
and
going to open
Dallas
things up.
Goddard?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
going to open things up.
everybody's going to eat him. So,
But I believe this too with Saquon because I'm happy for him because I was in a similar situation. I was in New England for 9 years. We really didn't throw the ball a whole lot. I was, more of a blocker. I really didn't learn how to be a receiver when I was in New England. I didn't realize that until I was set free and went down to Miami, and I'm down there running the offense.
You
and I'm like,
argued your way out of there?
No, I
lobbied your way out of there?
Yeah, I got traded.
Remember, the truth will set you free.
Yes, yeah. I went and asked to be let go for sure. But I went down to Miami, and I get in that offense. We're practicing and whatnot, and I'm like, wow, this is what it's like to be a professional wide receiver because I didn't do any of that when I was in New England for 9 years. None of that, and I went and had my best year in my career, my first year in Miami. I believe because of the change, the new for him, the breath of fresh air, going into a system, you got great people around you, great players around you, great quarterback to get the ball to you. I believe that Saquon Barkley is going to have his best year thus far this coming season in 2024. Breath of fresh air, new team. He's got people around him, which he's never had before, man. He's never had a great offensive line. He's never had wide receivers around him to take the pressure off the running game.
He even had a quarterback.
Not really. Yeah, not much of a quarterback.
And what you look at too is he's while he is one of the focal points of the offense. He's not the focal point. He doesn't have to carry the entire team on his back. He just have to do what he does best. And I think that'll be a sigh of relief for him. But he can also cook and eat at the same time.
Yeah,
now,
well, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
What you're saying, that he's got people around him. It's not all on him.
Yeah. Now, speaking of all on him, is it too early to do the call to duty for
no, it's time to do a call to duty. Yeah.
Yeah, people to subscribe and like for your boys. Subscribe and like so you can get the notification. So when we gonna be on? See, I might be anywhere rolling with Philly sports trips because as I'm down here in Clearwater, Florida, doing it big, like and subscribe. Now, speaking of doing it big,
doing it big. Howie's doing it big, man. Hats off to Howie.
Hats off to Howie. Now, I got a bit of a gripe. Not with Howie. Now.
James Hicks is in the house. What's up, James Hicks?
Yeah. What's up, James?
Yeah. John Adcock. Adcock.
Whoa.
John Adcock. That's his name.
Okay. I think he just wanted you to say that. But
no, it is. It said John Adcock.
Kirk
Adcock. Adcock.
Kirk Cousins to Atlanta. You saw that deal?
Yeah, I saw the deal, man. I don't listen. My hat's off to Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins keeps getting paid. He keeps getting paid. That brother keeps getting paid.
And I'm like, when I was like, And
he keeps getting paid. He's fooling somebody.
I know he's fooling the crowd. See, the thing is, a lot of people they talk this same crap. It's like, oh, he's this, he's that. I was like, that's cool for doing the regular season, but when it's nut cutting time, he's got one playoff victory. Everybody's
right. And that's what I said. He keeps fooling somebody because he keeps getting these big contracts with these teams. $100 million here, $100 million there. Atlanta now is paying him $100 million. Come on, man. 100 plus. And he's just going from team to team, bouncing around, and he's got one playoff victory. And that's the mark on his back or mark on his forehead is that he can't win the big game.
Yeah, and this is Achilles' heel currently. No pun intended, because he's coming off one. I don't think I would have been paying for that. No. He's coming off Achilles' heel injury. Not $100 million.
But you know what? That just goes to show that there are not a bunch of really good quarterbacks in the NFL.
But if you
Gardner Minshew goes out to the Raiders and signs a big freaking deal. I mean, there are not a lot of real good quarterbacks in the NFL. And that's why the Eagles need to make sure while this window is open, because you see these moves that Howie's making right now, that the Eagles are making right now, that lets me know that they know the window is open right now, that they've got a year or two to take advantage of this opportunity to get a couple, if not one, maybe two Super Bowl appearances and make some history here. Right. But the window's going to shut pretty soon. So Howie's trying to win right now. When they signed, they just signed Devin. They just signed him.
Bryce Huff.
Devin White. They just signed Devin White, but it's a 1-year deal. They're trying to win right now. They're trying to win right now.
Yeah, we look at the 1-year deal. They also signed Zach Brown to a 1-year deal. I was another linebacker that I like. Mm-hmm. But they signed Bryce Huff, and C.J. Gardner to multi-year deals. C.J. Gardner back in stride again.
C.J. GJ. You know what? I can say this, whether you believe me or not, it doesn't matter. But I'm telling the truth right now. On our last show, I had him down as one of the people. Because he was, I had him down on my list. I never said it, but he was on my list as one of the safeties they need to go out and get.
Yeah,
bring him back.
Too, because he's also that safety that puts you in the mind. He's not Dawkins, but he puts you in the mindset because Dawkins could be a nickel corner and safety and a hard safety.
And he was a part of that team that went to the Super Bowl. Man, he was a big factor on that defense. On that road to the Super Bowl. And I love the way he plays because homeboy plays angry. That's how I play football. And apparently, that's how I think you should play football. Angry.
The funniest thing is, like, I heard that he be talking trash, but then they say he was talking so much trash. It's like he was talking so much trash that he was talking trash to himself and he was going out the field after we won the game one time. I was
talking to himself. Was he answering himself? Did he answer himself?
No. This is another thing too. Is this was a big ball and ass move by Howie. We signed Brendan Mann, Rick Lovato, and Jake Elliott. You know what that is, don't you?
Yeah.
Our kickers not long snapper, baby. We got to get all this stuff. We got to get all. Keep it right. Keep it tight.
Well, that's just smart. Happy. Signing Jake Elliott, keeping him right, because he's the best, if not the second best. He's second best, if not the best kicker in the league right now.
Yeah, he's up there with Justin Tucker.
Yeah, he's a bad boy. We can count on. He's money. So he came through many times during last season. So yeah, that's a great move by Howie. Listen, he's doing some great things right now, and people are getting excited. They are excited about the Eagles. They went through that whole terror at the end of the season last year. It fell off the edge of the earth.
You mean that giant letdown?
Yeah, the giant letdown. So everybody was down about it. But then Jason Kelce retired. Then Fletcher Cox retired. So that was kind of like, pushing down some more.
But then Brandon Graham came back.
Then Brandon Graham came back, and now we got free agent moves. Yeah.
And then Bryce Huff came.
So what do you think's going to happen with this tampering? The rumor that Howie was tampering in his conversations with Saquon Barkley.
They always do some stupid stuff.
Of course, yeah, but that coach, the Penn State coach, it's just stupid. What's his name? James Franklin? Why would you say something like that on the air? Why?
I don't know.
Just dumb.
It's it's kind of like, you never noticed when and I've told this to a few people before. I don't know if I ever told it to you. It's like, so sometimes when you see something that's the perfect crime and you've gotten away with it scot-free, you want to be the one with the big DICK and tell everybody, yeah, that was me.
But you know what? Now the word is that the NFL's going to investigate.
Yeah, and so what? They're just going to take what? They're going to find them and take a pick?
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know the consequences. What are the consequences? What's the penalty?
Those are the ramifications.
What's the ramifications?
Depending on what they find, it's either they'll get fined or they'll take a draft pick.
Wow. Well, that's not good. Can they take the first round or second round draft pick?
It's not to that magnitude. No.
Not to that magnitude? Okay.
Because it's
I
like
don't know those rules.
all we hear right now is a bunch of hearsay and a bunch of people
Well, it's
feelings
always a
hurt,
bunch of hearsay. You know that.
and a bunch of people's feelings hurt because Saquon is dead to me. Oh, I'm going shut your chump.
You know
You know
what?
what?
I read that Tiki Barber said that.
No, you
Who
have to for it to piss you off. You have to
really?
hear this clown
Well, it
because he
pissed me
said
off when I read it. I'm like,
no, no.
who
We're
the
talking
hell is
about he's
Tiki
going
Barker? Tiki
Barber.
Barber. See, I can't even say his last name right.
But the thing
Who's
was
Tiki Barber? I
he
mean, I know
said
who
this.
he is, but
Yeah.
who is he to damn somebody, to doom somebody, to declare
What?
somebody dead? Who are
Well,
you?
well, well. Not only that, they won the Super Bowls without you, and him
Exactly.
saying that Eli Manning couldn't do it.
Right.
He
Matter of
said it
fact, they
twice,
won the Super
and
Bowls after he left. That's right.
yeah, and then and here you have to hear it and see him talking too. And he's talking about my people, talking about my fans and the people. I'm like, dude, excuse my language, shut your punk ass up. It's like
But
get out here.
why would
And
you?
then no, hold on. Then he was just bending and grinning in this man's face. That's what pissed me off. He was
But
just bending and grinning in Saquon Barkley's face.
how can you?
And they ain't
Um,
gonna try to say, no, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. It's tongue in cheek. Well, you said it, chump.
well, how can you condemn someone for wanting to do better for themselves and their family? I mean, listen, I went from New England to Miami. They were right in our division.
Rivals, yep.
Yeah, rivals. Played
Yep.
twice a year. Then went from Philadelphia to Washington. Philly didn't condemn me. It wasn't like I was here a bunch of years, but people didn't condemn me. None of my teammates condemned me or you dead to me. What the heck is that kind of talk? Come on, that just doesn't really make sense. I was very, very surprised by that and very, very disappointed at the same time that Tiki Barber would say something like that.
Yeah, that's why his brother in the Hall of Fame and he ain't.
Well, his brother was never a threat. He shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, I don't think.
I know. That's why I said it.
I probably shouldn't say that, but I did.
Well, when they put him, Zach Thomas, and somebody else in, Deion said they need to move my bus.
Yeah, I saw that. Need to move him to a different room.
Yeah, because it's becoming the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah, he said move my bus to another room. These folk don't belong in the same room as me.
No, don't.
He's right.
What other? I had another question for you. What other signings surprised you?
Okay, wait a minute. Cousins signed for 4 years, 180. Good God Almighty, contract with the Atlanta Falcons, including $50 million signing bonus and $100 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I told you, Kirk Cousins is banking, bro. He's killing them.
I know.
He's killing
them. He's with one playoff victory. He's the 11th most. He's made the most money in NFL history. 11th on the most money, making the most money in NFL history. 11th, yes, with one playoff victory. And and we chuckle this stuff, but Tony Romo is right up there. I was like, dude, oh my God, he turned around and then he's like, they talk about he's killing it on CBS. Yeah, he's killing it. He sounds horrible, and they paying him there too.
Yeah, no, he gets paid a whole lot of money on to do the color.
Yeah, and
he gets paid a whole lot of money.
And
wow.
He ruined it, and I didn't realize how bad he ruined the Super Bowl until they replayed the last play of the game, and he lit and Jim Nance had a signature finish, and it was the Super Bowl victory,
right.
And after that, the good and the great ones let people that's at home hear the crowd.
Yeah, you got to be quiet. That's some of the best.
Fool. Yeah, he started talking about something didn't nobody even give a damn about.
Yeah, that's some of the best announcing is when you're quiet. He does to me. He does talk a little bit too much. A little too often and sometimes at the wrong time.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I used to like about him was that he was really and he was like he had some good insight. But then but the thing was just like, okay, cool with the insight, but you talking so damn much, it's like you cool. It was so much damn insight. What was his insight when you was playing?
Right. Yeah. And that's, I ask myself that question about him too when he's talking, because sometimes he'll say things. It's almost like he's clairvoyant. Like he knows what's going, he says exactly what's getting ready to happen. I'm like, wow, how did he know that? And how come he didn't use that when he was playing?
Yeah. And then it's like when you listen to, and then I don't like when I listen to him and Chris Collinsworth because It's like you have the technology right there. My TV angle should not be better than yours.
They miss some stuff. They do miss stuff.
Yeah, they missed a bunch of stuff.
They miss a
Then
bunch of stuff.
well, I'm looking at my list of because I had a bunch of I had to get all my notes together and stuff for this week because I knew I was going to be on the road, so I had to go back and see because I was writing stuff down.
Well, you asked me, was there any? I think this is where you were going.
Surprise, yeah.
Were there any surprises? Well, one, I mean, it was a surprise, but it was a great surprise. I mean, obviously Saquon Barkley was. I think that is the free agent signing of the year out of everybody. You know
what the fleece of the year was?
The fleece?
Yeah.
What's the fleece of the year?
The fleece of the year was the linebacker from Carolina Panthers getting traded to the Giants. Now they had franchise tagged him. No. Listen to this. You're supposed to get 2 first-round picks for that. They got a second and like a 5th or 6th.
Oh, they got fleeced.
Big time.
Yeah, they got fleeced.
And then
big
they
time.
turn around and then they turn around and give a guard like almost make him the richest guard. I was like, come on. It was like that was to me, but the Burns one was the biggest fleece though, because when you franchise tag somebody, you're supposed to get 2 first-round picks for that kid, and you gave up a second, and then I think the previous year when they were trying to get him, they were supposed to give him a first and a third. You went from that to with the crap that happened this year.
What do you think about Russell going to the Steelers?
I thought that was a good place for him.
I totally agree with you.
It's like I think they got some decent weapons. They have a decent offensive line. I was like, but he can't. Don't come up with no more catchphrases. Don't come up with no more.
Well, I mean, but who was? I think Tomlin really can coach him up, man. I think that's a really good place for him to get himself back. I mean, first of all, his numbers weren't that bad last year in Denver. I mean, everybody seems to, because him and the coach were having problems, or the coach was having problems with him. They think that he had such a bad year. His numbers weren't that bad.
Yeah, but
he was like in the top 12 quarterbacks.
Yeah, but what was he at in the top paid quarterbacks?
As far as top paid, I don't know where he was for a salary. I know this year he's going to make 1.2. So he's
making Denver still has to pay him.
I know Denver's got to pay. Yeah, he's making 1.2 from.
But I'm just saying. So you could be. You weren't doing. For them to be paying him all that money, I think that's what when they brought Sean Payton in there, the new owner group, he let them know that he was probably not going to have Russell there.
Right, and like I said, but Russell he played well.
He had a decent year.
Yeah, he played well. I think he played well. Now he didn't do the Russell Wilson in years past. Yeah, he didn't do Russell Wilson, but I believe he'll play obviously better than this past year. And we'll see.
You see what James said?
Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers equals Sean Payton equals Doc Rivers. You might, I don't know. I never saw Doc cuss out his players right on the floor.
Side. Yeah.
I thought Doc was a little bit too nice. Doc Rivers. Yeah.
Like Sean Payton is he cussed you out, but he cussed you out in front of everybody.
Yeah. And then what I really didn't like about that whole scene was, okay, he got in Russell Wilson's face, and you could see he was being very adamant and very agitated and very animated. And then
on the sideline,
he stopped, and then he started walking away. Then he came back and did it again at the same.
You know what happened? What happened?
What happened?
They were trying to get Russ to go off, so it looked like insubordination. So
of course. But Russell,
so they could suspend him.
God bless his soul. He stood there and took it.
And but the part that how you know that what I'm saying is really close to true is because when Russell didn't react to him, you see how he walked away, but then it seemed like somebody in the headset said, "Go back and try again."
Well, the devil that was on his shoulders told him to go back and try again.
Go back and try some more. You can get it.
But he couldn't push his buttons, and that's listen. Hats off to Russell Wilson, because that was me. Mm-hmm. When he came back the second time, I would have said something. The first time, I'm gonna stand there because he's the coach, and I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna listen to what he has to say. Okay, I gotta take that one. But when he walked away and came back and did the second time, no, I would have said something.
Now, one of your guests on the fireplace, your last guest on the fireplace over there at the cigar bar.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
You talking about Hugh
that
Douglas?
yes,
Yeah.
Hugh Lamont Douglas. We were playing against Dallas, and it was when he came back, and the coach was yelling at him. Now normally Hugh takes the yelling, but this yelling part went on for quite some time.
Who was yelling? What
And
coach was yelling at him?
Tommy
Who was?
Brazier.
Tommy Brazier? Okay.
Yeah, so the next time he came out of the field, Tommy Brazier got in his face again, and Hugh, it's just like out of nowhere, he grabbed by the collar and said, "I'm out to bust my ass with one arm." I was like, "Ooh." And so we were trying. So we separated him because at first he had Tommy Brazier to come for grip. We separated him. Then somebody was had their hand in front of Tommy like this. He's like, "Get your damn hand away from me!" I was like, "You wasn't saying that when he had you gripped up."
He's
But
trying to be a tough guy.
it was funny. It was funny though because he was like he was talking all that trash at first, and then you exploded on him.
Right. Yeah, you
And I
know,
think that's
there's a line you shouldn't cross. But I'm really happy for Russell Wilson. I believe he's going to go up to Pittsburgh, play with Tomlin or under Tomlin, and really, get himself back together, get confident in himself again, and have a good season this year.
I'm interested to see. I was going to say with what you're saying. I was going to say I'm interested to see how this plays out because they have a first round pick in Kenny Pickett, who hasn't done. I heard that they were cheering when Mason Rudolph got into the game.
Wow.
And the other part too is everybody keeps talking about the pick. I was like, sometimes you got in order to salvage your respectability as a coach or as a guy who's a leader of men, you have to make the tough choices. And if this guy, he hasn't had a 2 touchdown. I think he hasn't had a 2 touchdown game since he's been in the league. 2 passing touchdown games since he's been in the league.
Right.
And then the receiving core. Look at the receiving core they got.
They have, that's right. And then the Steelers signed Patrick Queen from the Ravens, the linebacker. So, and that kind of fills a hole. They had a couple of injuries this year to Alexander and Holcomb that just messed them up. So they really haven't had that spot, the linebacker position filled with a decent linebacker in some time. And they had a couple of good ones this past season, but they had those injuries and it just kind of messed them up. So Patrick Queen coming in, first round choice, his first round draft pick, 2020.
I was pissed when he signed that.
Why? With the Ravens, when he signed with the Ravens back then, or with the Steelers?
But the Steelers, because I thought we was gonna get him.
Oh, we got a good linebacker. We did get.
I like Devin White too. The one thing that really cracked me up was so I saw in watching things that I watched this one where they were talking about they had interviewed Jerry Jones, and they were saying we don't jump at the first day, we don't do this, we don't do that. I think they were waiting on.
He's stupid.
Yeah, they were waiting on Derrick Henry to like fall by the wayside, and then all of a sudden you hear that this is what cracked me up first when the Chargers signed Gus Edwards, big 240-pound tailback. I was like, oh man, they're gonna take their power. Next thing I know, Derrick Henry signed with the Ravens. I was like, oh.
So before we go to Derrick Henry, say Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
He's stupid. Say Jerry Jones again.
Jerry Jones.
He's stupid. Say Jerry Jones again.
When I say Jerry, you say stupid. Jerry.
Stupid.
But it's like, and then
so we can post that later on Vetted. Y'all post that later.
So when you look at, and they was talking all this stuff, I was like, dude, you don't wait. Yeah, they waited till. I was like, I think they and they almost. And Zach Moss, who does Zach Moss sign with? I don't have my computer with me. Who does Zach Moss sign with? Because they were doing a deal with him, and then I think he signed with somebody else.
They were doing, the Dallas was doing a deal with him.
They were trying to do it. They was working out a deal with him, but then I think they say he was too rich for their blood.
Well, you can't again, like how he proved.
Oh, that's what. So this is what happened.
As soon as free agency opened up, Howie signed Saquon. They were already. They had the deal done before everything was legal. Before the time came.
Well, see, this is the thing too, and I don't know if you know this because It's like everything. A lot of the deals get done
Exactly.
at the combine.
Combine, yeah.
Yeah, the combine because everybody's agent is there.
Everybody's there.
It's
That's right.
everybody's team is there. Everybody
Yep.
knows who they want,
Yep.
and the one thing that I didn't know, is that the staff is there to see what the draft has to offer,
Mm-hmm.
especially for your position. So if there's nothing at the draft, because they also have position coaches there too. So if
Right.
there's nothing at the draft that could be comparable to you, then you won. Because this when I was playing with the Saints, I played the last year, and they went to the draft, and my coach Barry Hobby at the time he said, "Yeah, ain't no big nasties like the one we got. We need to go ahead and sign them."
Right. Well,
And I was
I would
proud.
think that the mentality or the strategy of teams as they go into the combine and everybody's there and they're fraternizing, they're talking, they're wheeling and
Right.
dealing. I would think that the strategy for a team in free agency would be obviously to go after any needs that you have, because the guys in free agency, the players in free agency, they're proven. They're already in the league. It's not like they're a rookie who's coming in and you don't know if they're going to pan out or not. These are guys who have had some time in the league. You know what they can do or they cannot do, and you can fill spots or fill needs that you have on your team. And whatever you're able to do or not do in free agency, then you can try to fill in those gaps with the draft.
Yeah, but also the other part too was that my agent, he was talking to other teams and to get a gauge on what other teams would give me. That was the
Yeah.
other part that I didn't know. No, but
Right.
it's like
Right.
because
Yeah.
at the time I think it was the Ravens, the Broncos, and Cincinnati. They were all offering comparable deals that the Saints were offering. So,
So
but
there's always some illegal, I guess,
legal
talking
tamper.
going on.
Well,
But this coach from Penn State is stupid, saying, well, he was on the phone. He talked to Saquon. Saquon said, "This is what he said on the phone." Shut up.
But see,
Stay at Penn State. You don't have anything to do with the NFL. Shut up and stay over at Penn State.
Yeah, now see why the people don't like him already. So this is
Yeah.
probably gonna make him hate him more. But it was some deal. It was like the Zach. What I meant to tell you was
Zach Mass. He signed with the Bengals.
Yeah, Zach Moss ended up signing with the Bengals because the Bengals were tired of Joe Mixon and they were about to release Joe Mixon, but then they traded Joe Mixon to the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to when you and then when you're not offering that much money.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about the Zach Moss deal was too. Zach Moss got $8 million. Y'all just lost Tony Pollard, and y'all lost a chance to get Derrick Henry. You talk about $8 million is too much. You don't. The only running back you have on your team is 5'7" or 8.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what. Derrick Henry going to the Ravens just took that team to another level.
Oh yeah.
The last 3 years, last 3 years, Lamar Jackson has been the number one rusher
running back, right,
for the Ravens, which is not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Mm-hmm. That's where they suffered also at the running back position, trying to run the ball in that AFC Championship against Kansas City. They got stuffed several times trying to run the ball. They just weren't able to get it done. Derrick Henry,
go ahead.
Derrick Henry, 4 out of the last 5 years, he's been the first or second leading rusher in the league the last 4 out of the last 5 years.
Right.
That takes this offense, particularly the running game, to a whole nother level.
Yeah,
if Derrick Henry is not the leading rusher on that team at the end of the year, the Ravens have misused and abused him being on that team as a running back.
Not only that, the other part to what you were saying about the Ravens, they had a lot of bad luck with running backs getting turned to ACLs and just getting hurt. J.K. Dobbins got hurt 2 years in a row. The other kid was Mitchell. I think he ended up getting hurt. And then Gus Edwards, he's a pounder, but it's like all you got to do is get in the backfield and knock him down.
Right. Well, they think Derrick Henry's on his way. They think he's old or he's slowing down. He's not. He's got 90 touchdowns since he's been in the league. He's got 19 more than anybody else.
Yes, and he still has that manly stiff one, but he's
still rolling
with street justice.
Yep, he's still rolling. So it'll be interesting to see with the Ravens. They're trying to win right now too. They have a window that's open for them. They're trying to win right now. the same way the Eagles are trying to win right now. Everybody's chasing, obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody's chasing them because we know Patrick Mahomes can do it with a lot of talent on his team and without a lot of talent on that offense.
But you got to give it up to their defense though too.
The defense played lights out. The defense is what kept them, or the phase of their game, the phase of their team that kept them in many of the games, particularly during the middle of the season when they were floundering a little bit. There was a point during the middle of the season, where we kind of counted the Chiefs out.
A little bit. I think everybody kind of counted them out.
We counted them out.
Speaking of counting, we got to do that second Call of Duty yet?
Second Call of Duty. Second Call of Duty.
Ralph.
Put it up, Ralph.
Put up the second Call of Duty.
Then we're going to go to our agree to disagree, and then we're going to go to history with Hollis.
Okay,
what's
cool.
Call of Duty? There it is. No.
Not
that yet.
Disagree.
Okay, we'll do the agree to disagree right now, and then we'll go
to
subscribe and like and follow. Yeah. Howie Roseman gets a grade of A for his free agent signings so far. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Now, I actually wrote that before we heard about Devin White. I wrote that before they signed Devin White. I should put an A+ on there.
Yeah, and some people are chiming in with like, I just saw my phone. We signed Devin White. It was a quick question of that James had. He was saying that he was asking, was CJ Garner worth $11 million? I was like, he was worth that last year, but he wanted 14.
Right. Well, you know what? It's not even whether they're worth it or not. That's just what they're getting paid these days. I mean, these cats they're getting paid a lot of money.
I know, but if you look at it, they were going to give him 12 or 13 last year.
Right.
And he screwed the pooch because he wanted 14 or 15.
Right.
I was like, then you come back. So
he got to take a little less this year than that because, he got hurt this past season.
Yeah. So, but he ended up coming back in the playoffs too, though. So
yeah, he came back, but again, he was hurt. We don't need you hurt. We need you on the field. Let me ask you this real quick before we go to history with Hollis. All right. There's been the question out. It's been talked about for the last couple of days about Justin Fields coming to the Eagles as a backup quarterback. And, a lot of people are saying don't do it because it would interrupt the mindset of Jalen Hurts. I've never heard so much foolishness in my life. I don't understand what people are talking about, how bringing a quarterback like Justin Fields or any quarterback that could come in and, the object of the game is to win. The object of the team is to make it as talented as possible, to give us the best chance to win. So if we can get someone that's going to be a good backup quarterback, particularly someone who has the same physical attributes as our starting quarterback, so that if our starting quarterback does go down, we really don't have to change our game plan. Why? Because he can do the same things that our quarterback can do. And that, how many times have you seen it in the league, particularly now where, the quarterback's getting paid so much, the starting quarterback, and there's such a big drop off in the second quarterback. So the starting quarterback gets hurt and the season is done because the second quarterback just can't do it.
Yeah,
season is done. Like a perfect example, Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
He goes down. The Jets season was over. Over.
They had nothing to offer the opposite sex.
Right now, if Jalen Hurts goes down, the Eagles season is over.
Now,
but if we have a quarterback like Justin Fields, who they can develop, who can do the same thing as Jalen, why not? What do you mean? You're worried about it bothering Jalen, his psyche, and having a quarterback behind him thinking he's going to take his job? What kind of crap is that?
I know. I don't think it will bother him. He getting paid.
But that's what people are. But that's what the word is. They didn't want.
You know why I don't? Some of the words that come out is stupid to me because
it's stupid. That's right. It's stupid.
And so one of my esteemed colleagues who's watching us now, my boy Spuds Troy Seabrook, he was asking me about what did I think the Bears should do. Well, if I believe in Justin Fields and I'm the Bears, I take Marvin Harrison Jr. with that first pick. With that second pick that's in the top 10, I take an offensive lineman to protect my boy.
Well, the word is they're trying to take Caleb Williams. That's the word. They want to take Caleb. But even with that, if they're going to bring Caleb in and make him the starter, I'd still have Justin Fields there as the backup.
Yeah. But if you look at it, if you truly, like I was saying, if you truly believe in Justin Fields, You already got the kid Moore. You got the kid Moore. Add in Marvin Harrison Jr. and then somebody because I don't think he was like sacked between 60 and 70 times last year.
Right. Yeah.
Justin Fields. It's
But
like so you have to show up that offensive line as well. But getting another playmaker
well,
because
first of all, he doesn't have anybody around him to help him make plays. He doesn't
right.
have talent around him. So yeah, that's a big ask for a young quarterback. I know he's not a
Yeah,
rookie anymore, but that's a big ask for a young quarterback. And no, he hasn't had a lot of successes since he's been in the league because they
right.
haven't put any talent around him.
Well, they put
And
DJ
they
Moore
haven't
around him.
coached him up. His
They
coaches
run.
suck.
Yeah, they do. They do stink up the joint.
But bringing him here, my argument is what I'm saying is there are a lot of these so-called experts, sports experts, who talking about don't bring him here because it's going to disrupt Jalen Hurts. What kind
Not
of
going to disrupt. Man,
what do you mean?
You lost the competitive nature of the beast.
That
It's like
is so
if you're
stupid.
competitive when every year they would bring somebody in, I wouldn't give a damn. You're not taking my spot. You're not
Right.
taking my reps.
You
That's
play
supposed to be
harder.
your mentality. You're supposed to play
Yeah, you
hard.
play harder,
But
make you play better.
yeah, you don't get it. The only way you get on the field is if I'm tired.
And if he's good, guess what? If he's good,
Good.
if he's that good, guess what? If something happens to me, the team keeps rolling because the bottom line is we got to win.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that if you get hurt during the season, we win a championship. Notice I said you still get the money and the ring.
That's right. And
Because
what
you're part
happened
of
when
that.
what happened when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz played
Got
most
ring.
of the season, right?
Yep.
And did well. Doug Peterson had a backup quarterback that was of similar talent and similar ability. So when the starter went down, guess what happened? Foles came in and was able to continue to carry the team, lead the team on to the victory in the Super Bowl. Why? Because he had a comparable backup quarterback who could come in and do pretty much the same thing the starter was able to do.
The backup is only a starter in short bursts.
Right. And Carson Wentz didn't show his true colors in terms of his weak mentality until Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, and then Carson came back the next year and was trying too hard. He was trying too hard and failed. He was failing because he tried too hard, and he just never recovered psychologically or emotionally after that. He didn't lose his talent. He had the talent. What's problem was between his ears.
Yeah.
History with Hollis, y'all. I'm done. I'm done ranting.
History with Hollis is brought to you by Philly Sports Strips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and phillysportshirts.com to get you one of these Maximize My Sexy t-shirts and join us on one of our many trips as I'm on right now. I'm down here living it up in Clearwater,
I'm jealous
Florida.
too. I'm jealous.
I went to the Phillies game today. I watched them stomp out the Boston Red Sox, and it was a couple of Red Sox fans there too. We booed them right off the place. But also look for the pictures for the St. Patrick's Day game. Is going to be awesome. So today is March the 14th. It's the 74th day of the year. There's 292 of these puppies remaining.
Wow.
Today's national holidays is Celebrate Science Day and Genius Day. I'll get to why that's important a little bit later on in the read. And it's It's also a Potato Chip Day.
Oh, we don't want that.
You don't want no potato chips?
No, I don't do potato chips. That's a heart attack.
Okay. Reuben Sandwich Day.
Reuben sandwich?
Yeah, the Reuben sandwich. You know, the corned beef with
I've only
the
eaten one of those
sauerkraut,
in my
the
life.
patty melt.
I've only eaten one of those in my life, and I've only eaten one. There's a reason I've only eaten one.
Oh God! Today is Popcorn Lovers Day. I love some good popcorn.
Popcorn's not good for you either.
Popcorn is good for you.
It is not good for you. Popcorn is not good for you.
It's also Healthy Kidney Day, and it's Pie Day. You know what Pie Day is? Pie is 3.14.
Oh, okay, pie.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you meant like potato pie.
Yes. And it's also I threw this one in here for everybody. It's funny because what if I told you today is White Day?
Wow.
Do you know why it's White Day?
Why is it White Day?
It's actually an Asian holiday celebrated mostly in Japan and China, but it's after Valentine's Day. It's a month after Valentine's Day.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the which Men would give a gift to the women that they received chocolates from on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
It's primarily the women give them white chocolate, and the
okay.
because in Japan and most Asian cultures they didn't start celebrating Valentine's Day until around 1970.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
see. Now, sister, I got some events here.
Hmm.
In 1880, the Salvation Army of England they started work in the United States at Henry Hill's Variety Theater in New York City. In 1899, Ferdinand von Zeppelin received the United States patent for the navigatable balloon.
Okay. The air balloon? The big
Yeah,
big air
navigator.
balloons?
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah. It's like in 1900, Gregory Mendel's laws of heredity and genetics are rediscovered by Dutch botanist Hugh de Vries.
Mm-hmm.
Rediscovered genetics and botany.
Okay.
1900, Congress passes the Currency Act about money. And I put this one in here in 1913 with John D. Rockefeller. He gives $100 million to the Rockefeller Foundation. I wonder why.
Giving money to himself, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
1923, President Warren G. Harding becomes the first president to actually pay taxes. And but you know he was also the first president with the White House scandal. There's a book called President's Daughter, to where he was spreading his love all over the United States, and had a daughter that he did not he tried to deny, but in the as times must and always will change, she was her DNA was matched to his, and he found out she was the president's daughter.
Wow. So he's spreading his love all across the country. All right.
Well, yeah, because after that, it was about 10 or 12 women came up with the same stories, but without a child.
Without a child. Okay.
Yes, the first in 1937 was called the what is this the Battle of the Century. Then comedians Fred Allen and Jack Benny they met on the radio for the first time to battle it out.
Wow. Who won that? Jack Benny.
Jack Benny, yeah,
Yeah, Jack Benny
Jack
was
Benny won.
hilarious, man.
Yes,
He's
1956,
clever.
50-year-old baseball pitching star Satchel Paige. He signed a contract to be the manager and player of the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro National League.
Hmm.
1960, Will Chamberlain sets an NBA playoff record, scoring 53 points when the Philadelphia Warriors beat the Syracuse Nationals at the Philadelphia Civic Center.
Hmm.
1967, even though the first pick in the draft was Bubba Smith out of Michigan State for the
Bubba Smith.
Buffalo for the Baltimore Colts.
Hmm.
In 1971, Australian Men's Tennis Open, Ken Rosewall, he beat defending champ Arthur Ashe 6-1, 7-5, 6-3. I was only putting this in there because he's the first man to win the Open Era Grand Slam singles without dropping a set.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive.
In 1972, the NBA's not Kansas City, the Cincinnati Royals, they moved to Kansas City due to poor attendance.
Later for y'all. Getting out of here.
Yeah. The 1973, John McCain is released after 5 years in North Vietnamese prison camp as being a prisoner of war.
Hmm.
1976, we have a jockey, Billy Schumacher, maker. He
Hmm.
wins his 7,000th race. Man,
That's a
not
lot of racing.
700, 7,000.
7,000.
Yes.
That's a lot of.
Yeah.
Oof, that's a lot of
Ooh,
racing.
exactly.
It's a lot of races.
1970,
Man.
1978, the NFL permanently adds the seventh blind mice, the seventh official. I mean, it's the side they added the seventh official permanently, the side judge.
Seven blind mice.
Yeah, in 2000, actually, my bad. 1992, Form A5 was in Irving, Texas, with my boy Willie Nelson, John Cougar Mellencamp, Tracy Chapman, and Paul Simon to head the bill. In 2004, for all you WrestleMania fans, because WrestleMania is coming up,
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden, Chris Benoit beats Triple Threat Triple H. He wins a triple threat match versus Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Wow. He so
Yeah.
he beat three people the same day.
Yes. This was
That's fake. You do
this
know
was
that's fake, right?
yeah, I know.
And
They already
everybody's
knew what was
watching. You
going.
do know that WrestleMania stuff, that stuff's fake. You do know that, right? You pay all that money to go watch
It's
all that foolishness, and it's all fake.
awesome though. This was pretty funny right here. In 2018, after spending a year in space, identical twin Scott Kelly, his genes were altered while he was in space for a year. He by 7%, about 7%, making him no longer identical to his twin.
Wow.
So it altered it enough so they could tell them apart genetically.
So if you want to become different, go to
Go
outer
to space
space.
for a year. I got some quick birthdays here. I got first woman dentist is Lucy Hobby Taylor from 1833. Today's her birthday.
Wow.
The reason for it being Science and Genius Day because in 1879 Albert Einstein was born.
Oh, okay.
1933 actor Michael Caine, that's Alfred on Batman.
Mm-hmm. Alfred.
1930 yeah, Alfred, yeah. 1933 Quincy Jones.
Mm.
1948 Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal.
1951 Jerry Greenfield. You know why Jerry Greenfield is important?
No,
He's a
why is it important?
co-founder of Ben and Jerry's. Delicious.
Co-founder what?
Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Oh, Ben and J.
Yeah.
I don't eat ice cream, man.
Oh man. Well, you can tell I do. 1951 Rick Dees. That's VJ. VJ became popular during my childhood. 1958 Danny Myers. You know who Danny Myers is?
No.
He's a St. Louis native who was one of the co-founders of Shake Shack, delicious fries and shakes,
I don't
and burgers.
see, I don't eat that stuff, man.
Well, 1966 actress Elise Neal, 1979 actor Chris Klein, 1988 Steph Curry, 1993 2013's number one NBA number one pick Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, he sucked.
Anthony Bennett.
Yes. In 1997, gymnast Simone Biles. Today is her birthday as well.
Wow.
That's been
Okay.
History with Hollis Thomas, brought to you by Philly Sports Ship, phillysportship.com. And you can put a deposit down for next year. For next year, you can be where I am, chilling like a villain. I'm about to
Chilling
go
like a
sit by the
villain.
beach and
Uh-huh.
watch the stars at night.
I hate you right now, man.
That's why I was rubbing it in like calamine lotion.
I hate you right now. You going to the beach, you get to hear the water come in,
Yes.
coming in, the breeze blowing,
Yes.
but it's not cold. It's nice and cool.
It's not. It's not
Uh,
even cool. It's like
it's
got
still hot. Well,
a
that's right.
hint,
You
a hint
sweat. You're
of
gonna be
warmth.
sweating. You're gonna be
Well, no,
sweating.
it's only like 75 or 78 degrees outside currently.
Yeah, but you sweat when it's 50 degrees.
Well, but it's not humid right now because
Okay.
it's the
It's the wintertime. Yeah, it's still.
end of the meteorological summer.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that I was telling you on the 29th is the end of the meteorological summer in the
Right.
southern hemisphere, and it's
Mm-hmm.
the end of the meteorological winter in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because the weather does whatever it wants to do. The other day,
What's the temperature? What's the temperature there?
the temperature right now here is in the 60s.
Yeah, that
It,
means
it
it's the
was
end
it
of the
was
meteorological
78.
winter.
It was 78 degrees. It was 20 degrees above normal
I
here
know.
today.
It was 88 here. It was
Right. But
luscious.
what I'm saying is the weather does
I
what
was
it
in the
wants to
club
do.
box though.
Last week, within a matter of 4 hours last week, it
Oh
was
yeah,
cloudy, it was sunny, it was sunny, it was snowing, it was cloudy, it was sunny. With a matter of 4 hours, it did
that
all
was
of
winter
that. And
storm.
when it was snowing sideways.
Yeah, that was winter storm Preston.
Man, the weather just
It
does
was.
what
It
it
was
wants.
winter storm Preston. They should be on. It should be Cordell right now.
Yeah,
Q.
okay. All
It
right.
is.
Okay.
I watched the
Listen.
weather channel like a hawk to make sure
Okay.
I'm on it.
Yeah. They're just guessing. You know that, right?
No, we have radar. They have radars and stuff.
They do
There's
have radars, but they're still just guessing.
but they're also for
It's a
to get
scientific guess.
yeah, but it's like they for the hurricanes they drop it's 12 aircraft that go up to the middle of the hurricane and drop a beacon down.
Beacon in there.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
so they and then they also have drones now. They go in
They
the water
fly in the
too.
middle, in the eye of the hurricane, and the eye of
Yes.
yep, they sure do.
So it's getting there. It's
It's
not.
a, it's a little better now. They do
Yeah.
little bit of a better job now, but it's still there's some guessing still in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not an exact science. It's not an exact
it's
science.
not. Mother Nature's still in charge.
Shout out. Yep, sure is. Shout out to Coco Golf. I don't know if she won her match yet, but she's out at the Indian Wells Classic. She turned 20 years old yesterday.
Oh, cool.
She won a match yesterday in straight sets. And that's what?
No, I was gonna say shout out to my daughter Haley. She won first place of this art competition, and she gets to go to the international thing in South Carolina. Congratulations, baby girl!
Yeah, what kind of art does she do? Does she do people? Does she do abstract?
She does anime, and she wants to be an animator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
She creates characters and stuff.
Her
drawings are great. Yeah, that's why I had to get her the iPad for Christmas for so with the stylus so that she could
pen, yeah.
Yeah, so she's great. I had to show you some of her artwork. The picture she won the contest with, it was like if you saw the girl that she drew the picture of, the picture looks just like her.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
that's hot. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice. All right, we out of here, y'all.
Idea too, because I know she's watching. She's gonna play pro basketball in the Dominican.
Okay, well, shout out to her too.
My oldest, yes.
Yeah. Shout out to all your kids, wherever they are.
Just two. Just two.
You caught that, huh? You caught that, huh?
I caught
that. Listen, we'll be back next week, y'all. Hopefully with more good news. The Eagles, more hustling going on by Howie Roseman. We got the draft coming up in April, so that's coming soon. But y'all just stay tuned.
Yeah,
hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That way, when we come on, you get the notification. Hit the notification button, you get notified when we're coming on live.
And think about this: we still haven't done anything in the interior defensive line.
Right? No, we haven't. You're right. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's the next shoe that I'm looking to drop. I'm looking to see drop.
But we still need, and just my opinion, we still need one or two more good players in that second and third level. Another line, because we can't go into next season with Cunningham. We can't.
We can't.
No.
Well, that's what they brought Zach Brown for.
Well, yeah, but there's a reason to be excited. It'll be exciting to see what Nolan Smith does this coming year because he's going to play this year.
Yeah,
he got to come bring it this year. He got to do something.
And the Kobe Dean if he's going to do anything.
If he can stay healthy, yes. Yeah. If he can stay healthy, he's played.
So he can see what he can play.
He's played, but he just has gotten hurt when he's been in there. So he's got to stay healthy. But yeah, he's got the talent. We know he can do it. It's just a matter of whether they will or not. So the pieces can possibly be in place when the season starts. But we got reason to be excited again.
Yes.
Reason to be excited again.
Finally.
What is that? Look. What happened to my picture?
I don't know. What'd you do?
I don't know. They're set up with certain hand signals and stuff like that. It'll do certain stuff. Whatever that was.
It seems that you're learning each and every day about your setup.
Yes, sir. It's something that I didn't program it. They just put it in there. I got to figure out what's what. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Same time, y'all. 8:15 on Thursday night, right here on A2D Radio. This is Vetted. I'm Irving Fryer. That's Big Dog Hollis Thomas. We'll see y'all next week.